In a big development, India has announced its first significant discovery of reserves of lithium, a rare mineral crucial for manufacturing of electric vehicles.
The global push to EVs boosting the price of lithium to a record high in China. And as
lithium is one of the most coveted materials in the world right now. Some call it white gold. It's a critical material used in batteries, and of course demand is skyrocketing as energy companies and car makers move away from fossil fuels.
Hi all. On the 9th of February 2023, the Geological Survey of India has announced the discovery of almost 6 million tons of lithium reserves in the Riyasi district of Jammu and Kashmir. And this discovery has a lot of potential to open new doors in ways India has never seen before, similar to the way in which the discovery of petroleum changed the destiny of many Gulf countries. And it has been reported at a time when the cost of the import of lithium-based products and raw materials are at its highest. So let's discuss about the history and importance of the white gold lithium, the third element of the periodic table and the lightest of the solid element, its market value, the different ways it could impact the economy of India, and much more. The significance of lithium is so massive because in the 21st century, where clean energy is a new buzzword, lithium is at the forefront of it, powering a wide range of devices from smartphones, laptops, clocks and toys to electric powered vehicles, irrespective of their brands. Because the most important use of lithium is in the manufacturing of rechargeable and non-rechargeable batteries. Now let's take a sneak peek into its founding history. These batteries were invented during the oil crisis in the 1970s by an English chemist who goes by the name Stanley Whittingham, working for ExxonMobil at the time. He started conducting experiments for an idea of a new battery which would be capable of recharging on its own in a very short period of time, and also perhaps help the world one day to reduce its dependence on fossil energy. This led to the development of the first lithium-ion batteries, and he was later awarded the Nobel Prize for Chemistry along with two other scientists in 2017 for this discovery. But what actually sets the lithium-ion batteries apart from all other types of batteries available in the market, and what gives it an edge over cobalt-based or lead-acid batteries? This can be analyzed by taking into account primarily three factors which are crucial for determining the qualities of batteries in general, which are its weight, its energy deficiency, and energy density. Lithium batteries weigh much lighter than other batteries. For example, the lead-acid battery has an energy density of around 30 to 50 watt-hours per kilogram, compared to the lithium-ion batteries having an energy density between 50 to 260 watt-hour per kg, which means they have a higher power density, resulting in more battery life in a lighter package. The energy efficiency rate of lithium-ion batteries is also much higher, compared to the 20 to 25% energy loss for lead-acid batteries, a 25% loss in nickel-cadmium batteries, whereas a typical lithium-ion battery will lose only 3 to 5% of energy, and it is so efficient that even power grids use lithium batteries for storing renewable energy. And also these batteries have significant life, lasting almost 10 times longer and charges much faster than the next best battery. Hence these factors make the lithium-ion battery a better alternative than all the others. India's lithium battery imports stands at Rs 88 billion, and the import of lithium metal stands at 1.7 billion between the years 2020 and 2021, with 70% of it coming from China. So the news about the discovery of the lithium reserves in Jammu and Kashmir has come at a time when the cost of the import of lithium-based products and raw materials are seeing a sharp and steady increase. The worldwide lithium reserve is thought to be around 80 million tons, of which the 80% of the known deposits are found in 4 countries, with the largest known reserve in Chile at 9.2 million tons, followed by the Australia, Argentina and Bolivia. The region formed by the intersection of Argentina, Bolivia and Chile, known as the South American Lithium Triangle, contains the largest known lithium reserves in the world. The United States and China also have large amounts of lithium reserves, amounting to 6.8 million and 4.5 million tons respectively. So based on the numbers, you might now think India has found 5.9 million tons of lithium reserves, and wouldn't this make India one of the largest known shareholders of lithium in the world, which would result in making the Indian market a monopoly for the lithium batteries? And the answer is nope, it won't. And this is because the reserves which has been found in Jammu and Kashmir falls under the inferred resources category, meaning the quantity, the grade and the quality of these resources has been estimated on the basis of geological evidence and limited amount of sample, which gives it very little accuracy. Hence the environmental impact as well as the cost for mining cannot be predetermined with 100% accuracy. This puts the resource under the G3 or the preliminary exploration category based on the studies and inferences conducted so far by the Ecological Survey of India. Later on, after conducting more research, groundwork and experimentation, the minerals will be classified under the G2 or G1 category. And only then can we know for sure the exact quantity of lithium present, its quality and how much of it can be extracted. And for all this to happen, it might take anywhere around 5 to 7 years. And also 2 years earlier, a similar news was reported from Karnataka when the government announced that they found 1600 tons of lithium, which was classified under the same inferred resources category. But the quality of lithium currently discovered is comparatively massive. But meanwhile, there is a lot of background work that needs to be done in order to utilize the lithium reserves to its maximum potential. And this is because having a massive lithium reserve is simply step one of the very laboring process of converting it into the final product which fits into the devices that we use. And to give you more context, this can be seen in the example of Argentina. As I mentioned earlier, Argentina has one of the world's largest lithium reserves, but is still struggling economically because they neither have the expertise, infrastructure or the technology to master it, which makes them dependent on external agencies to do the job. Likewise, India still has to master the lithium processing, and to set up all the infrastructure and to get a start, it might take anywhere around 6 to 7 years. And this is where China comes in. Although China does not have the world's largest lithium reserves, China completely dominates the market of lithium-ion batteries. Of all the lithium batteries produced worldwide, more than 75% of it are produced in China. China is a country which is known for its ability to make long-term bets, as the economy of China works in a way different than most other countries. This is because our economy consists of independent corporations who focus on delivering short-term profits to shareholders. But China being a communist country, the state and the economy are intertwined, which allows them to make these long-term bets. They can say, like, in 10 years we think that this is going to be really valuable, so we are going to pour tons of money into this because we don't need to deliver profits next quarter. We can deliver profits in the next 10 years. So it gives them this unique ability to make big bets that could potentially be huge. Likewise, in this case, they started investing a lot of money to develop huge factories and cutting edge technologies much earlier than most other countries. That today 148 out of the 200 lithium manufacturing factories are present in China. And out of the top 10 lithium battery manufacturers in the world, 6 of them are China based. And now if you were to compare it with the situation in India, the country lacks the required skills for refining of the mines as well as its processing. But in the meanwhile, what can be done here is, as made in India cars of companies like Tata and Mahindra are becoming ever popular, we could start improvising on the technology for the manufacturing of these batteries. For starters, we could set up our own manufacturing units within the country. Companies like the Tata Group has already started taking initiative by setting up a lithium-ion battery facility for recycling at Gujarat, and companies like the Toshiba and Suzuki are setting up a battery manufacturing unit inside India. But we still need more and more companies to take initiative to set up its own units within the country, which could help reduce external dependence. And another important factor to take into account if we were to get a hold of the lithium producing market in the future is to make sure that we exercise proper economic diversification, which is basically the process of shifting an economy away from a single income source towards multiple sources from a growing range of sectors, which can encourage positive growth and development. When we take the example of Gulf countries like the UAE and Saudi Arabia, which were completely dependent on oil once, today are trying to diversify their economy. Currently, Dubai has become a tourist hub, and now only 30% of its GDP depends on oil and gas. But on the other hand, countries like Iran was also fortunate enough to find oil, but their total dependency on it made the rest of the economy to suffer. Now, to discuss about something that's equally important is the management of the waste generated from these lithium batteries. Even though these batteries act like the beating heart of almost all things electronic, when it comes to the end-of-life disposal, things aren't that simple. It is estimated that by around 2030, 2 million tons of used lithium batteries will be present, and among various types of batteries, it is the lithium ion and the lithium primary batteries that pose the biggest danger, because if not disposed of correctly, they can quickly start a fire, and given the quantity of the waste and their toxicity, local communities might not dispose of the remains as required. This is because if you were to dispose of the lithium batteries in a general waste bin or bag, they get disposed of into large containers or straight into a waste collection vehicle, which increases the potential for it to come into contact with water accidentally. Because it might be raining, there might be condensation forming, but even the smallest amount of water or water-based liquid will be enough to ignite a damaged lithium battery. In fact, in the United Kingdom alone, between April 2019 and March 2020, Improper disposal of lithium batteries alone were thought to be responsible for more than 250 fires at waste facilities, and the figure is over a third of all fires which took place during the time period. And other problems that occur due to the improper waste disposal are soil degradation, water shortages, biodiversity loss, damage to ecosystem function, and an increase in global warming, as well as groundwater contamination with metals including antimony and arsenic. Even in developed countries like the US, only 5% of the lithium waste ever gets recycled. But on the other hand, efforts are now being made throughout the world to recycle these batteries, and even researches are going on for using robotic technology to do this to limit the impact of these cells. And although one main goal of using lithium batteries is to power EVs in order to reduce carbon emission, mining these resources causes emission of carbon in large quantities, particularly in the hard rock mining. For every ton of mined lithium, 15 tons of carbon dioxide is emitted into the air. Also, some of the most common mining waste include the sulfuric acid discharge and the radioactive uranium byproduct. These cause a wide range of diseases including cancer as well as respiratory problems in humans and animals. But a lot of batteries currently do end up in landfills or are incinerated, primarily due to the lack of adequate standards and recycling schemes or absence of national battery collection. So necessary action has to be taken by the government and the stakeholders, primarily by estimating the amount of waste that will be produced from these mines once they start to function. And a well thought out plan has to be placed in order to safely dispose it off, minimizing the impact on the environment as much as possible. And an awareness on waste management should effectively be communicated. Stringent measures are also to be taken up against defaulters in businesses and industries, and this is required to guarantee the success of ambitious goals set by the stakeholders without harming the environment. And at a personal level, we should also be motivated to take care of waste management in everyday activity of our daily living. So to summarize, we could start by doing proper estimations of the quantity and economic viability of these resources as soon as we can, along with a clear-cut strategy for the proper management of these resources. We're trying to become as self-reliant as possible. And if things work in favor for the Indian economy, we might stand to have a dominant position in the lithium manufacturing sector. And even then, our first priority should still be to take care of our environment by taking mitigative measures and ensuring proper care to dispose of these waste in the least harmful way to the environment. Thank you.